Now or never! Let's kill this thing!
Look! On his back!
Flash!
Nothing like a cold! Don't get and freeze his ass! Now's our chance! Shoot his back!
Jack, pulse!
Holy shit! That's not good!
Watch it!
Come on! Hey! He knows where you are!
Not again! Del, get up! You gotta move!
Nice! Very nice! Woohoo! Annoying boss.
We came here to make things better. But
Very
make
nice.
them worse.
And you're sure what you saw was real?
It was real.
Okay, then maybe she'll, I don't know, help us somehow.
She would.
Woohoo!
Could. But she's not my mother anymore.
Then who is she?
Their queen.
Really weird that I had to kill it while in that red phase. That dream state. Anyways, guys, welcome to another episode in the deep playthrough of Gears 5. I didn't do commentary because it was failing quite a lot, and I first wanted to succeed in that run instead of discarding all the failed attempts and also the commentary in it.
If they really got that queen.
It wasn't even that bad. If I read the internet, it was supposed to be like the worst boss fight ever. And there is a way to cheese through it with grenades, just tag it on its back. But I didn't want to cheese through it. And it took me like 20-30 tries, but yeah, I've actually had worse. I actually enjoyed it somewhat.
How'd you find us?
You think I'm gonna give you a one-of-a-kind piece of tech without the ability to track it to the center of the planet?
Yeah, fine. And speaking of one-of-a-kinds, help me hook up this skiff.
You find what you're looking for?
Yeah. And now we need to kill it.
Is she, you know,
Woohoo!
all right?
Not
Wasn't
really.
expecting that.
But let me ask you something. How long would it take to get the Hammer of Dawn up and running?
Funny you should ask. The data drive you found months ago about the UIR?
Yeah?
Interesting stuff.
Interesting how?
You'll see. And lucky for us, I have an old UIR contact. Take us home, Sam.
Got it, sweet cheeks.
Alright, I'm not saying it was easy, I'm not saying it was a breeze, went through it, but it was not as, I succeeded way earlier than I expected to. By the way, also downloaded Control with ray tracing. That will be my next playthrough. Really beautiful game. I was not expecting too much of it. I didn't really like the office building setting,
Home to the Union
but it's
of Independent
amazing.
Republic's secret space program.
Never been in UIR territory before.
You still haven't. Vascar was independent. The UIR had the pleasure of occupying, no, excuse me, liberating this glorious land.
Okay, remember how I told you only pissed off nomads lived out here now? Meet Garen Paddock, the most pissed off and nomadic of them all.
This is your old UIR contact?
Two things I dislike, Baird. The cog and children. You've brought me both.
Two things I dislike: old men and deserts. And yet, here we are.
I like this one. Follow me.
A little bit of a Metro Exodus vibe with a Russian dude in the desert.
So, it turns out the UIR space program went way beyond what the COG publicly revealed. Somewhere in this cosmodrome here, there's a rocket loaded with functional Hammer of Dawn satellites. I think we can get the entire system back online and start hitting the swarm where they live.
If the UIR has satellites during the Pendulum Wars, why didn't you use them?
The politicians wanted their armistice. Launching those satellites would have guaranteed another century of war. But still, some in our military tried to launch.
It kinda triggered a small civil war, actually.
So we know this Cosmodrome's layout. Where are the satellites?
Try the rocket hangar. Here.
And the wind flares are too severe to fly over that desert. So that's where your skiff comes in.
Question. How do we know these satellites are still functioning? Or if they're even compatible with ours?
Answer, we don't. And that's where you come in.
Unless you're too cowardly. Or stupid. Or weak.
Man, who is that?
A friend, believe it or not. But for now, get to know the layout of that place. There's a good chance most of it's buried in sand. Oh, and come and see me before you go.
Right, right. Jesus. I'm actually pretty anxious starting my control playthrough because of the ray tracing.
We have to.
Maybe it's time to
Because it
It's not what I said.
does look pretty amazing.
It's what I felt. They have a queen now. They're not gonna stop. Look, I woke her up. So I have to stop her.
Yeah, but this isn't all on you. Come on, let's just go see Baird.
Coriscu newspaper translated to Tyron. UIR Third Fleet decimated by Koch's superweapon. Premier Jory Dachenko to begin peace talks by Matriarch Coriscu staff writer. Bonburg. The Battle of Bonburg has come to a stunning conclusion with the UIR Third Fleet reporting the loss of at least 4 naval vessels off the coast of Austria. This is no doubt the clearest signal in decades that the pendulum wars may soon be coming to a conclusion, with Premier Jory Dachenko remarking earlier today that peace talks are soon to be underway. When pressed to comment on the nature of the coalition's new weapons platform, Dachenko said, "I believe it's in the best interest of all UIR citizens that we listen to what the Koch has to say at this juncture." The Premier's office indicated that the full statement would be issued soon. Meanwhile, a seemingly contradictory communique released by Commander Miran Trescu of the UIR Third Fleet proclaimed simply, "We are not defeated, we are not deterred. The Third Fleet has regrouped, rearmed and reaffirmed its commitment to our mission and that of our United Republics." The Premier's office has no comment on Commander Trescu's statement. Sounds a bit like that dude in the Gulf War on the Iraqi side, that while the American tanks were driving behind him in the screen of the camera shot in which he was interviewed, he was proclaiming that he would annihilate the Americans and that they would be driven over the desert, in the desert, and conquered. It was really funny, like only not really conform reality. It's a bit like a statement like that. Like, no, just walk along. Nothing's here. Everything's under control. We will be victorious. The thing is, now that I have seen ray tracing, it's a bit true. I thought it was maybe a marketing ploy, but once you've seen it, it's hard to go back. Because the reflection and the meshing of all the light sources together, because it's also like colors that are being reflected from a certain object meshing in with, for instance, the wall behind it, it all makes it look way more coherent. So, of course, this still is an amazing game, but ray tracing is really the way to go. Unfortunately, Control does not have HDR implementation, but if you have those two combined, like this is all early stage, but let's say in a couple of years from now, it's really like movie-like, like almost lifelike. What the hell? That looks like the backside of a Ferrari or something. Travel to the coast. Travel the coast. Alright, I actually feel a bit empowered that I took down the Matriarch without that much trouble. Of course, I could still hit a wall, but I do think that 2 of the sections that could really constitute a brick wall, I have passed now. That was the ice section before the lake section, before the mine. And the Matriarch. And that section, the lake section, was in my book way harder. But I've heard there's, and also the section with the Snatcher was pretty hard. And I heard there will be a section with 2 Snatchers. So maybe I will be hitting a brick wall after all. Over there. It does look like the backside of a vehicle. A vehicle, as the Americans tend to say. Cool chopper outside. It's not like a car or an automobile. It's like a vehicle. Automobile vehicle. Woohoo! Beat the Matriarch. Still a bit pumped about that. And also pumped about Control, to be honest. I knew Remedy would not disappoint. I've only test played it like 5 minutes or something. But I immediately got into the vibe. Well, so looking at pre-release footage, it didn't look that great to me. Because I really just didn't like the setting. All square rooms in an office building. But it's amazing. I was totally wrong. And I think the story is amazing as well. Although I know nothing of it. The vibe is really mature and thriller-like, gritty. Missive to Agent 9, translated to Tyrant. The High Council of Gorisnaya, top secret, eyes only. Agent 9, our allies intend to submit to peace talks with the COG. We, the Gorashni, do not. The briefcase you have been given contains the means to decisively end the war with the COG. You will deliver it to Major Paduk. You are authorized to liquidate anyone who impedes you. End message. Alright. By the way, that... that writing of the COG... Actually to me resembles a bit... the Hellgast, if you look at the paper to the right. The Hellgast in Killzone. Of course, it's a really similar series. I think they're even at one point were pretty big competitors. Killzone being the PlayStation exclusive. And Gears of War being the Hallmark Xbox title. But they... yeah, they... I wouldn't say they're competition. They're also like colleagues almost. Like they complement each other in my book. Anyways, let's go to the dudes. First get our suitcase. We are, I think, in indeed UIR territory. It looks a bit like Russia. This is all about like US versus Russia vibe again, a bit. Compared to real life.
People really used to go on vacation, huh? Can't imagine.
They did. At least before the UIR took this place over.
Doomed Empire by Logan Hobbs, Chapter 9, Writing on the Wall. It would be unwise for us to be satisfied with the common explanation, namely that the UIR's strategic goals in Veskar are limited merely to accessing the Kaskur borderlands. Indeed, it would behoove the COG's military leadership to consider the long-term ramification of the UIR's occupation of Veskari's territory. Historically, Veskar has been a nation of great wealth and cultural innovation. While lacking in natural emulsion reserves, its people have compensated through the wholesale export of their culture. This has attracted outsourcers, many of whom are... You had outsiders, you also have outsourcers. Many of whom are eager to leave manufacture in the hands of Veskar's world-renowned craftsmen, inventors and engineers. And where has Veskar invested most of its wealth? Straight into its own infrastructure and technological developments. The danger here is that the UIR will seek to repurpose Vesker's own factories and knowledge to its own ends. And they will do so right under our noses. That, as scholar and student of history, I can regretfully guarantee. And who was the author of that? The student of history and something else. Chapter 9, Doomed, Logan Hobbs. Student, scholar and student of history. Alright. How can you be a scholar and a student at the same time? It's a pretty cool art design, I must say. Like really, literally red sand. And I think it's time to level up a bit. I have quite a lot. I have pulse, not really. I just use it only for the automatically extreme ability that's automatically unlocked, dealing 24% more damage. I also use it against the Matriarch a couple of times. Shock trap, second shock trap I can do, but also cloak will be handy. And what will be more handy? Carrying heavy weapons will be handy. Stealth for Jack will be handy. And reviving will be handy. But first let's do carrying heavy weapon. Ah no, I can also do kills, recharge Jack's abilities. That's super handy. Yes. Going to go with this one. And going to go with this one. Executions that will recharge Jack faster, I don't think I will enable, because I'm really doing not a lot of executions. Don't really have a lot of opportunity for them. Otherwise I would have done them, but I do like this. It's a bit of exposition here, like in between the action. This area does seem bigger than I initially thought. Where did I came from here? I don't even remember. Where's that dude? I saw that. Ah, this is where we came from actually. The pool tables. Already thought it looked a bit familiar. So we checked the garbage line. We went all the way to the back, right? Let's double check before I miss components. Clock writing. Yes, I remember seeing the helicopter outside. Let's quickly check it out over there. You never know. Something is hidden over here. Often I understood they also place like collectibles behind you. That for instance, if you walk through a door like so, and you just continue, and then actually the collectible will be behind you near the wall. So that if you don't look around, you will not notice it. What's that? Is that the soda machine? Snack machine? What's this? Gun turret? Man, I must say, I really noticed the fact that there currently is no
Good.
ray
you're here.
tracing.
Grab this module off the table. Jack's about
It's a
due
bit-
for an upgrade.
It's a bit more dull, so to say. Flat. The image is more flat. Holy shit. A stump
Yeah.
and some
We have all the time in the world for this.
DBs. Or just mannequins. Probably we will have a new upgrade.
What the hell is this?
Let's check out that stump. So it has one organic leg, one regular one, a big tri-shot. And that's about it. And I understood that shooting the organic matter does the most damage.
That module isn't going to install itself. Just saying.
Big ass tank turret.
Yeah, we don't.
It's a pretty nice environment, but I must say, I find the graphics a bit underwhelming here. It's really like plain a bit. It's almost like this could have been on the PS3. Or on the Xbox 360, considering it's a Gears game. Right, let's quickly do that upgrade, because I have no idea how long exactly this episode already is, because of the... I only put the timer on after defeating the Matriarch. I must say, I am scrounging a lot of nice components over here. I think I am more or less near the half-hour mark. Here we go. New components. Looks pretty cool. Hijack. Ah, this is pretty cool. I can actually use enemies against each other. Jack temporarily takes control of an enemy in co-op. Only the Jack player can equip or upgrade Jack. Alright. Very nice. We actually have another unenabled ability. There's actually quite a lot of tactical choices you can have. Really well done, Jack, I must say. Jack temporarily takes control of an enemy. Let's see what the upgrade path is. Lasts 30% longer. Stimps the enemy while controlled. Super handy. Faster recharge. Recharges faster after use. Hijacked enemy explodes on death. I want them all. This is like a super fun upgrade path. Alright, I have it. Now what?
Done. What's it do?
Follow me. So a couple days ago, I sent Paddock a care package. Some DBs and some leeches.
Intriguing. Potentially disastrous, but intriguing.
Thank you. See, the way you described Niles' machine gave me an idea. I call it hijack. Go ahead. Try it out.
Hold left trigger and press Y to hijack targeted enemy. Alright, let's see what is the symbol of it. Alright, it looks a bit like a brain or like a maze with a cogwheel inside. Here we go. It also is pretty long. Nice.
You figured out how to override the hive mind?
No. Jack just floods their brains with voltage. It's crude, doesn't last long, but it works.
So which swarm can we use it against?
Well, our test subject data is limited, obviously, but... you know what? Go nuts out there. See what happens.
Alright.
Oh, one more thing. Stop by and see Paddock before you go. He's out front.
Alright. Can I get a
Once we get this hammer,
checkpoint?
I need to know if I can rely on you.
Don't worry about that. This time, we're gonna do it right.
You know what happened to Lizzie at the convoy. It wasn't your fault.
Kind of you to say, but I'm the one who pushed the button. I had a bad feeling about it. I didn't want to do it, but I did. So that's on me.
Speaking of all that, have you seen JD around lately?
Try my best not to, kid.
Alright, there are all kinds of intrigues over here. We needed to see somebody else.
Guy's accent? It's Garaski.
Yeah,
And they kind of had a rep back in the day. Torture, war crimes.
and? Remember where I come from, the COG had the same rep.
Really? Did they now? The Coke are the good guys, right? Alright, can I get a checkpoint?
Come have a look,
Please?
children. Until a few weeks ago, we were holding out fine against your so-called swarm. Then everything changed. They got smarter. Suddenly they were wearing armor. And they started making these. Take one, if you want.
So you all have been fighting the swarm alone?
Yes, which is why I agreed to let Bear come here. We helped you with your rocket launch. You help us.
I have a swarm weapon that gets more accurate as it fires until it starts to misfire.
Our water supply's been cut off. We've been trying to restore it, but your swarms made that difficult, to say the least.
Getting the hammer up's our priority, but say we help. What do you need?
Our water tower. You'll pass it on the way out. Haven't heard from my people there in a while. Could be nothing. Could be something. Check in if you can.
All right.
And
We'll do
now
that.
the big question. Are you children really prepared for this? Because your skiff's ready on the runway, and the desert awaits.
Yes, we'll do that. I think we also got a checkpoint, so all is good. Holy shit, that's a pretty long reload cycle. Alright, I will do this all in the next episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed it a lot with beating the Matriarch. And hope to see you in the next one. If you liked it, please leave a like or maybe even a subscribe. And for the meantime, do not forget to keep on gaming. See you later.